wave cut. Here you can see, suppose one wave is come, where suppose one wave is coming and then it will cause a removal from here. Okay, then we might have a hard rock, then again the second one is coming, and then we have what, this kind of topographical feature. They are being known as what, cliff, sea cliff. Cliff form throughout the continuous erosion and weathering. Soft rock are gentle slopes and hard rocks will have a steeper slopes. Okay, so I told you with respect to the hard and soft rocks. Then the next one is caves, arcs, stack and stumps. I told you that with respect to the particular landforms, if suppose if you have a minor cracks, if the minor crack is wide vertical in terms of its extension, that will be called as blowhole. If there will be a continuous blowhole, we might have a formation of this kind of topographical feature that will be called as sea wave. Then if the sea wave will be cut throughout this entire headland, then we will have a formation of arc. If this arc will have some sort of cutting, then we will have a stake, and if this stake is subjected to erosion, we will have what, stump, which will going to form. And this is used to be the original part of headland, and we have a topographical features because of these ways. So what we can say, headland, those who are exposed, they have a wave, they are subjected to intense wave action. As a result of that, cracks in rocks will be widened because of the hydraulic action. I hope you remember in the fluvial landforms we have discussed about the same. Abrasion will be there. Abrasion will going to form what, sea caves, and cave will going to further enlarge. When the cave will going to further enlarge, further abrase, that will lead to the formation of what, arc. And if arc roof collapse, there will be a formation of stack, the isolated rock pillar. And if the stack base is subjected to intense erosion, that will be called as stumps. You will see Old Harry Rock in UK. You will see this Great Ocean Road in Australia. Wherever you see these set of features, okay, wherever you will see these set of features. So it is because of the action of waves, the topographical changes are taking place. The slope orientation is getting changed, and when the slope orientation is getting changed, that's what's the topographical features which we used to see. Then we have a depositional landforms. Depositional landforms as a result of sea action, sea waves action. Certainly, when waves lose energy, the transported sediments which they had, that will going to deposit, and there will be a formation of depositional coastal landforms. Depositional coastal features will be there. So here you can see we have a wave cut platform. Okay, wave cut platform. And here you will see we have a beach, we have a tombolo, we have a barrier, spit, lagoons, bay barrier. They are being known as what, depositional landforms, the feature of depositional landforms. See what will happen when the wave will here, and when the wave is actually having a backwash, during the backwash, what will happen, some sediments will going to deposited here. As a result of this deposition of sediment, we will have formation of beach. With respect to the erosional, with respect to the forward movement of wave, that led to the cutting of hard rock and soft rock. As a result of that, base formed, and when the same wave is actually receding back to the water, there will be a deposition, there will be a formation of what, beach. If we have a horizontal strip which is there, which is actually connecting an island part, we have a horizontal strip of sediments that will be called as tombolos. If these tombolos are aligned with respect to the bay in this way, that they are about to get close the bay, so whenever we have this kind of deposition in this way, it will be called as what, barrier. Now this barrier will lead to the isolated water bodies. These isolated water bodies will called as what, lagoons, and this barrier will be known as bay barrier because it has restricted the water inside the bay itself. Beaches, they are formed by deposition of eroded material. I told you, okay, sand, pebbles will be there. Okay, and they are being resulted of constructive strong swash and yes, weak backwash. Beaches will be built. Sandy beaches, if they are there, they will be shallow base, low wave energy will be there, gentle slopes will be there, pebble patches will be there near to the eroding cliffs, and yes, high wave energy will be there near to these beach floors, near to these beach surfaces. Then we have a one spit. Spit means a long narrow ridge of sand or shingle extending into the sea. So this is how, whenever we have this particular deposition, as a result of deposition there will be formation of what? Spit. And it will going to form when there will be a longshore drift which is carrying sediment along the coast. When the changing in the coastline will take place as a result of this is what the longshore drift, and this longshore drift will cause deposition. And when we have a such kind of deposition, that will be called as what? Spit. Here you can see these are the spit. This spit might resulted into what? Bay barrier, and this may lead to the formation of what? Lagoons. Barrier island could be there if it is further widened. Okay, so spit, then then we could have a barrier, then we could have a lagoons, or like we can have an isolated beach or lagoons, you can say. So they will going to be formed as a result of depositional action. As a result of depositional action. Then you will see tombolos. Now, what are tombolos? Tombolos are basically, you can say, the sandy isthmus, which is actually separating two water bodies or connecting the land part. Okay, which is actually separating two waters and connecting the land parts. It is the extended one, so it is going to connect the mainland with the island. So that will be called as what? Tombolos. That will be called as what? Tombolos. That will be called as what? Tombolos. So I told you this is how the lagoon will be there. Okay, and this is what being known as bar, or if it is wider, then it will be known as what? Barrier island as well. Okay, lagoon is basically the brackish water. It is neither the fresh water, however it is nor the saline water of sea. So later it will become a brackish water. So it is, Maldives you might have seen, so that is famous for lagoon. So we have this kind of topographical features which will be formed as a result of action of sea waves. So in this session, we concluded two specific landforms. The first we discussed about the aeolian landforms, and then we discussed about the sea waves, or let's say the sea landforms which are being there. And I hope you remember we are actually focusing on how these sea waves are modifying the topographical features, in what ways they are actually modifying the horizontal and vertical alignment of a particular surface or a particular slope, and that is being known as landform. In next session, we will be discussing about karst landform, and we are going to see that what question have been asked from this entire topic. And in the next session itself, your geomorphology will going to over. We're going to start climatology. I will going to put all the questions which have been asked from this entire chapter, or let's say this entire segment of geomorphology. We have actually covered the crust. We have discussed about the feature of crust comprised of different rocks, plate tectonics. Then we discussed about endogenetic, exogenetic forces. We have one more factor which is remain left, that is the groundwater action or karst landform, which we will going to do in next video.